Well, as you can see, we got the old puller in the shop, trying to finish up a couple of things, get it ready so we can actually pull it this year. I gotta put my water injection pump on there and get the rest of that rigged up, and I got some nozzles in my crossover pipe there, and might look odd to some of you fellas. This turbo's sitting on there backwards. It's a backwards spinning turbo, and it works pretty good. It's old Holset, shucks, what is the numbers of the darn thing? 3TB or something. I don't know. I can't remember the numbers of the darn thing, but it works good. And it's like a 2.8 wheel in there, and anyhow, I had a lot of cleaning up to do. Hadn't run in a while. Had to clean up the fuel pump. Took it apart, and we're using a hydraulic pump from, I don't know, some small piece of John Deere equipment. I can't remember what it come off of. I think combine, come off combine, that's what it was. And use that for pumping my fuel. Of course, I gotta regulate the fuel pressure with that. Don't need 1,000 pounds of fuel pressure. And then this is my water injection pump. It's got some history to it. This here, I'm proud of this pump. This here's the pump that the legendary super stock tractor puller Donnie Thomas of Deere Power 1 pulling team fame had on his super stock or Deere Power 1 at the time he was finishing up his pulling career. Had to do a little bit of repairing on this cap. Got a small amount of just a tiny touch of brazing. Had to put a spot of brazing on there. And anyway, getting them work. That's what I had on it before when I was running it, as calling it the Spirit of Deere Power. And I don't know, these 2 ears here, I had to braze. They must have broke off too. I don't know whether it froze or didn't have the pressure valve wasn't working right. The relief valve, the pressure regulator, I don't know. But anyhow, I had to braze some of them on there. Of course, I had done that years ago when I was running it as a Spirit of Deere Power. So, but anyway, I got a bunch of little things I'm cleaning up. As you can see, I only run the finest fittings that you can find laying around in the corner. Can't believe guys would spend a lot of money on stainless braided lines and fittings and stuff, and shoot, man, old copper tubing and these old galvanized pipe fittings, they work just the same way. Don't cost you hardly nothing. You got them laying around. So that's what makes it fun. Putting something together out of junk you already got just laying around here, and going out and beating fellas that done spent $50,000 on their engine. I never had half of that in even my pro stock tractor that I had. The whole thing. I just can't imagine spending that kind of money. But anyway, I know most people don't understand my philosophy. Most of the tractor pullers that are there now, they don't understand that philosophy. I'm not gonna spend $250,000 on putting a tractor together and going out there. I mean, could do it, but I just can't justify that. It's a whole lot more fun putting it together without spending any money. Just like this here. Recycling. This blanket was given to me by somebody, from somebody. All the cover, the red cover had just worn off of it. They had cleaned it so many times, and I bought some kind of red material, nylon red material, cut strips of it and put it in there and make it look like it was covered up. And then this injection pump come off another old pulling tractor. There's some lines. You can see we rebent them and make them work up there. And I just like, that's just my thing. Building it out of stuff you got laying around. It's a rat rod. It's a rat rod tractor, you know. I can't help it. I just got to build it out of stuff without spending money. If you spend a lot of money, it ain't fun. It just ain't fun. Even if you are capable of winning back the money that you spent, which is not possible nowadays, the amount of money you got to spend on them. But it's just so much more fun to put something that's junk and go out there. Because if you don't do well, nobody expects you to. You know, they say, well, it's just junk. But the thing is, I usually do well. And that's when the fun begins. If I can beat guys that done spent a whole lot of money, ain't no better feeling in the world. Well, there is one, but we won't go into that right now. Anyhow, I'm going to work on them a little bit. Quit bothering me. You're taking too much time. I'll show you something later on. Okay, to mount this back, my fuel pump, I gotta actually line it up with this, as you can see on the front pulley there. Yeah, I'm running the ATI super damper. When my son put this together, that's right, we're running a crankshaft in here that we got from a notable, used to be super stock, now pro stock puller that said it wasn't no good. But it seemed to work for us. Anyhow, he wanted to put this super damper on there, which is a good idea. So that is one thing that's not old and was laying around that we did get. But when it comes to helping things last longer, longevity and performance, if you can get something like that that would help things last longer, it's worth the investment. Anyhow, as you can see, we got this double pulley on front there, smaller double pulley. That's going to run this pump and the water pump, and the way it was rigged up, my son had it where this one was run on the pulley that's farther out front. I got to move it back, shim it back a little bit. I got to put a 5/8 spacer in here to shim it back to run on the other one, because my water pump that I'm going to run is a little different than what he ran. And it needs to run on this outside pulley. So got to find 5/8 piece of something to cut a spacer out of. See what we got laying around. Hey, how y'all doing? If you like what you're seeing, you want to help my channel grow, like and subscribe and leave a comment. Believe it or not, YouTube will recommend my videos more and help spread the word. More people can see them and help the channel grow. It helps me out a bunch. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I know a lot of y'all are already doing that. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Alright, we'll get back to the video now. See you. We will walk over here to the scrap metal department. See what we got. Let's see. This is where we keep the aluminum. This here, I guess we cut a couple of, I don't know, we cut a spacer out of that or something one time. Hot dog, that's 5/8, just what I need. So I guess I'll cut a piece out of that. Don't throw scrap metal away. Come in handy. Let's see if we can cut this thing somehow or another. All right. Put one hole here and one there, and we'll see what happens. Look, it's almost like this thing was cut for it. Look at that. Looks pretty good. Just gotta cut the thing off over here. Actually, it is going to go on the other side, so it don't matter, but let's see. I'm gonna have to mark it on that tractor bracket. Now, let's mark some holes. There's one, and there's two. My golly, look at there. I'm not sure I like the placement of them, but that'll be all right. Don't want it to look too good. People might think I done went upstairs. It's gonna look more like this here. I gotta center punch that and drill them out. There you go. It's drilling pretty good now. There you go. Now cut them off a little bit and see if it fits. Fits good. Another thing I got to find is, well, this here bracket's going to go here. It's going to hold my super antique water injection pump, which worked fine last time I run this tractor. I got to go ahead and drill some holes or cut them there with the torch, and but this thing being in the way like that, what I was fixing to say is I got to figure out how I'm going to get a radiculator hose up to from there to here, because I ain't going to run no dry block. I just don't think there's no sense in that. It ain't looking promising. We'll figure something out. We had this on there before, and it might work. Let's see how far. And this on there, it might. We'll just have to see. Surprisingly, it looks like this same pipe and hose will work. It'll just come right over top of that. And I think it'll be alright. This is where the position that pump is going to be in. I'm going to use this little belt for that, and then just run one belt around the other pump and the water pump, and it should work. Yeah, it looks like that'll all work belt wise and everything. Yep, that'll work. Yeah, sir. Worked before, ought to work now. I ain't gonna fix that under the hood the way it is. I gotta cut a big hole in the hood. I guess I better get a very precise instrument to surgically incise the hood to make a hole in it. Best way to go. There you go. We'll see how it fits on the neck. Fits fairly nicely. Might have to do a little bit more trimming here and there. Fill in a couple gaps. Gotta do a little bit of work right over in here, and get that part of the hood down a little bit farther. I think it'll be alright. Yep, looking good. Already had dug out this piece of tin that I used to put on the hood to cover up a turbo. Had that behind the shop. Let's see if it fits. It's a work in progress. Might have to just put a little skim of Bondo over there or something. Other than that, it seemed like it fits pretty good. Now actually I'm going to have to do quite a bit of patching on it. We'll make it work somehow or another. And it'll look professional when it's done. Please keep in mind I do not work on other people's stuff as slipshod as this. We do other people's stuff right. I'm just having fun with this. It's basically building it as a rat rod tractor. The mechanical part of it will be very well done, but it's just going to look like it's a wonder it'll even have enough power to get out onto the track. It's the impression we like to give anyway.